Grease was less of a movie and more of a phenomenon when it came out. The 1978 musical rom-com stole hearts from day one, with men falling for the doe-eyed Olivia Newton-John and women dreaming of the dimple-chinned, leather-clad John Travolta. Grease was an unconventional hit. It was predictable enough with the good girl, bad boy romance, but unpredictable when it came to the on-screen chemistry between all the characters, the fabulous music, and the transition from the good to the naughty. The film's huge success was unexpected, but no random stroke of luck because, in many ways, Grease was the perfect balance of over-the-top and understated. In the end, the movie was a 50s song and dance with some classic high school romance and drama. One of the key elements that certainly contributed to Grease's success was the perfect casting. In hindsight, we can't imagine anyone but Travolta as Danny and Newton-John as Sandy. But the truth is, none of them were the first choices for the producers. Let's go over which actors were the first choices, those who unfortunately didn't end up in one of the highest-grossing musical films ever. First preferences. Travolta was not the first choice for Danny. According to Vanity Fair, production house Paramount wanted to cast Henry Winkler, who played Fonzie on ABC's Happy Days. But Winkler didn't want to be typecast. Co-producer Robert Stigwood had a 3-movie contract with Travolta, which made him the second choice since he fit the bill. Things were set up so Travolta would finish Stigwood's Saturday Night Fever first and then start shooting Grease. Before we continue, are you interested in partnering with Faxverse? You can get your brand right here in front of your target audience, getting thousands of eyes on your business or product. To learn more about our sponsorship program, contact us today at business@faxverse.com. It was even more difficult to find the right actor to portray the role of Sandy. Director John Travolta originally considered none other than Princess Leia from Star Wars, Carrie Fisher. He reviewed a few dailies from the then under-production Star Wars, and he couldn't tell how much of an actor or singer Fisher was. The next choices for the role included Susan Dey, Deborah Raffin, and Marie Osmond. Osmond was almost a match, but she didn't consent to Sandy's transformation in the end and dropped out. That's when Travolta told producers Olivia Newton-John is the only person who should play the role, and that she was, quote, every guy's dream. Kleiser didn't agree, but producer Alan Carr zeroed in on her only to hit another bump. Newton-John was apprehensive about the role. She wasn't sure if she wanted to be part of a movie since the previous one flopped and her music career wasn't panning out well. Moreover, Newton-John, who was 29 at the time, felt she was too old to play the role of a high school student. Travolta refused to relent. He convinced Newton-John to give it a shot, and she agreed to a screen test to check their on-screen chemistry and confirm she wasn't looking too old compared to Travolta. The script was altered so that Sandy Dombrowski became Sandy Olsen since Newton-John couldn't pull off an American accent. The screen test was fabulous. The chemistry between the two was great, and cinematographer Bill Butler managed to make the age gap between them disappear with the help of soft lenses. Stockard Channing was also not the first choice for the role of Rizzo, the leader of the Pink Ladies. It was first offered to Lucy Arnaz, who couldn't get on board in time and chose to be a part of Bye Bye Birdie at Milwaukee's Melody Top Theater instead of Grease. Stockard Channing was the next choice, but there was only one problem. She was 33, almost too old to convincingly portray a high schooler. Kleiser had a crow's feet test for all cast members, where he checked all the actors for wrinkles around their eyes. Clearly, Channing passed since she made a hell of a Rizzo. These were the most prominent casting preferences that could have changed the way Grease turned out. Fans and critics have often gushed about the great chemistry between the characters on screen. The actors developed a strong bond during the shoot, so much so they even wanted to make a sequel. Of course, producers didn't go ahead with the idea, since they obviously had no clue what a massive hit Grease was going to be. Keep watching to find out some lesser-known facts about how the cast bonded on set and off. Before we continue, please hit the like button if you're enjoying this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting content. Shooting in California heat was a challenge. While Grease, the stage play, was set in Chicago, the movie was shot in California for its sunnier backdrop. But of course, that made it hotter. Often the cast struggled with the sweltering heat, such as when they were filming the finale, We Go Together. The set was a high school football field and offered not the slightest shade. Naturally, people were passing out from dehydration and heat exhaustion after a point. The shooting of the high school dance was no better. This time the set was a high school gym, which became unbearably hot in the afternoons. What's worse, they couldn't crack open the windows since the smell from a nearby pork processing plant made it almost impossible to breathe. In an interview with LA Magazine, Kleiser recalls the cast would lay down on the gym floor to catch a break from the heat. On another day, Pearl, Tucci, Conaway, and Ward decided to go sailing during the day since they had free time and needed to be back in the evening for a shoot. While they had enough time, they missed the evening shoot. Why? The wind stopped and their sailboat was stranded. What's shocking is how they managed to come back. The captain did a wind summoning dance, and lo and behold, the wind did return. A musical where the music was changing. All the songs from the stage show didn't make it into the movie. In fact, there was a lot of back and forth on which songs would make the final cut. Some of the most loved tracks from the film were hanging in the balance at the time of production. For instance, Newton-John's lament "Hopelessly Devoted to You" wasn't a part of the film until shooting ended. Even the duet "You're the One That I Want" at the end of the carnival scene was not a part of the original plan. It was so last minute, the choreography was done then and there, and the cast members, other than Travolta and Newton-John, lip-synced their lines. Rizzo's solo "There Are Worse Things I Could Do" almost didn't happen either. Carr wanted to take it out since he felt it was too much of a downer, but Channing, who played Rizzo, convinced him the song gave depth to her character and was essential to the plot. One of the songs from Grease the stage show that did make it into the film was "Grease Lightning." However, in the stage show, it's Kenickie leading the song, not Danny. In an interview with Vanity Fair, Travolta acknowledged the change was because of him. He wanted the song, and since he has enough influence to make it happen, it did. At one point, it seemed none of this would matter since the producers were thinking of roping in the Beach Boys for the track. Emotions ran high on the 15-week shoot. A lot of good things can be said about the on-screen chemistry for almost all the actors on screen in Grease. Some actors maintain the chemistry was a direct result of their bonding on set, and as the shooting progressed, everyone got closer. In the 15-week shoot, there were a lot of ups and downs, and some had their emotional baggage. For instance, Travolta's then-girlfriend Diana Hyland had passed away only in March of 1977 of breast cancer. The 41-year-old actor had died in his arms, and of course, Travolta was grieving. It was only 10 days after Hyland's death that he was on set shooting Grease. Travolta often called Kleiser for support when the going went tough. On the other hand, there was love in the air too. Jeff Conaway, who plays Danny's best friend Kenickie, fell in love with Newton-John's elder sister, Rona. They met at one of Carr's parties during Grease's filming, and there was an instant connection. They moved in together a year later and got hitched in 1980. For Olivia, on the other hand, the on-screen transition from good girl to temptress was as challenging as it was liberating. In an interview, the actor said she felt it made her open to trying new things. Overall, everyone had a great time together. The group became such a tight unit they were all game for a sequel. Unfortunately, producers didn't put too much stock into the idea since they had no clue Grease was going to go on to become an American classic. Even though Grease 2 did work out eventually, it was with a different cast for the most part, and it didn't weave the same magic. Grease is an evergreen classic. Sure, as time passes, the 50s costumes and hairdos seem more outlandish, not to mention the skin-tight vests, but the movie remains just as fun, lighthearted, and entertaining as ever. It's been almost 42 years since Grease hit the box office, but Travolta and Olivia Newton-John appear charming as ever on screen, just waiting to steal young hearts. What were you more surprised to find out, that John Travolta wasn't the first choice for Danny, or that Stockard Channing was 33 years old? Let us know in the comments section. And if you enjoyed this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting facts. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated with all our latest videos.